what is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a solo album by Jack Strify, a Cinema Bizarre. Basically, this product is called Illusion, and it came out in the spring in 2015. So the thing about this product here is a number of things. For one thing, Jack Strify is the vocalist and lead singer from Cinema Bizarre, a particular popular glam rock band in Germany, pitches like that. Some of those particular type fairs definitely has some good type appeals. Jack Goldkick had helped introduce me to that particular band within some of those fairs. I reviewed a good portion of like Cinema Bizarre and Jack Strify within pitch. I reviewed a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I reviewed Glitter and Dirt and some pitches like that. But there was like a request last year in this vacay run that I'm getting to with some of these offshoot ones I talked about in the community post, that this was a request that made me to review the Illusion album. But back around that time, I had reviewed some Cinema Bizarre. I did kind of put some of these products on the back burner, but I look within the aspect behind it, I realized that it just never really got to fruition as far as those first apps. So it's definitely within the pitch as far as saying I do fuck with Cinema Bizarre quite a bit. It's just the aspect behind it. I think I've given most of their products like a 10 out of 10 or something within that aspect, and this album is no exception. So it's just on the pitch that this is definitely an album that should not have been pushed to the back burner, I'd say, within the aspects behind it. But that's the pitch as far as this first album. So we're going to get to it within these tones. As far as saying, now Jack Strify himself within the pitch, he did go solo, like I was saying, after about the early 2010s with Cinema Bizarre, which is unfortunate that that band is not still around. But it's basically getting these couple of products by Jack Strify is like a good type aspect, because he did drop 3 of them. I've reviewed 2 out of 3 of his solo type ones, so he does have another EP that came out in 2015. And now he did drop singles in 2021, pitches like that. It's just too bad that it never manifested into even like an EP or something like that. It'd be definitely dope to get more kind of Jack Strify type music, because it basically, in my opinion, this Glitter and Dirt project from 2013 and then Illusion from 2015 is basically like getting like a new era Cinema Bizarre. There's really no difference between it. It's just the same stuff. It's like when you think, like, I would recommend to folks that miss like System of a Down, it's obvious to kind of go for like Serj Tankian's solo stuff, at least the stuff that he did in 2007. Maybe not so much the 2010 and 2013 ones or pitches like that, but at least that 2007 album, like I forget what it's called, but Serj Tankian's Elect the Dead from 2007 basically might as well be like a 2007 kind of System of a Down album. So I look within the pitch, it's the same thing here. These 2013 and 2015 products by Jack Strify is basically like an update for Cinema Bizarre, more or less, than the pitch. I mean, it has the same quality, same aesthetic. He doesn't ditch glam rock. It's on here. There's new wave. There's like trance. There's things like that. Jeffree Star and Lady Gaga type vibes. Adam Lambert type vibes, pitches like that, Marilyn Manson, and like Mr. Strange, some of those stuff, folks. Like a good aspect to this, like Hottopic, kind of more fashionist type vibes within the aspects as far as those tones have, but just very much within the aspect of consistent kind of Hottopic type material within some of those tones. So this consists, it's a whole way banger. Recommend all 10 songs, or recommend all 14 out of 14 songs on here. Now, the thing about it is, on top of that, a couple of these band members did at least go to like other bands, pitches like that. There's apparently a folk, Sebastiano Serafini, dropped. Not Sebastiano Serafini, but U Phoenix, from the guitarist from Cinema Bizarre, dropped the band with that particular folk, Sebastiano Serafini, called Monochrome Hearts. Now, I was hoping the Monochrome Hearts would have dropped an album, but they really only dropped singles, which is unfortunate. So they only have a couple. Then there's Dreams Not Reality, which has, U Phoenix joined a new band called Dreams Not Reality. So I'm not sure if that has like a particular album, but we'll have to see. If it does, I might review some of that stuff as well, just from the pitch. But basically, the Strify stuff, just to be able to get to it here. So clean sweep, 10 out of 10. There were 2 singles. One was Burn/Fear, and the other one was Lovers When It's Cold. So basically, Burn/Fear is like a slamming kind of any burn up to kind of get here, just getting crunk. Definitely like a good getting crunk type song, just a replacement for Cinema Bizarre, I'd say, here with the pitch behind it, and a good dance gem. So just on the pitch, Burn/Fear just has rock hard bounce, but just on the pitch, just definitely feels like something Jeffree Star and Lady Gaga would do. Some of those type pitches within the format, just throws within those aspects. Just typical kind of alternative glam type pitch within some of those tones. So this basic bounce kit, as far as those first gonna happen, just getting a pitch of like, if you were wondering what Cinema Bizarre would sound like I was saying, good replacement for Cinema Bizarre. If you're wondering what they would sound like way out in 2015, 5.5 years removed from their most recent album, I'd say this is a good type pitch. Just same sort of stuff, just consistent offshoot of that. Lovers When It's Cold is a nice one, so I like this particular thrilling one as well. It's like a dope, glissy kind of blood on the dance floor vibes to kind of get here. Just very much reminds of like Davi Vanity, and it very much reminds of like Davi Vanity and Javon Monroe, some of those type pitches within the format of it. There's like some in-between kind of anime this particular song feels like some in-between kind of anime noise pitches like that. Definitely like Final Fantasy background music, some of those type pitches about it. It's like this, like a basking kind of trance bop to get here. So it's definitely a dance floor type song, but it's just a little bit more of the enjoyment behind it, just kind of the ambience of getting towards like a basic kind of trance type vibe, where just this little bit pacedness. So yeah, some of this does feel like Japanimation within some type formats, which is definitely excellent type appeal. This one the pitch. I don't think it's foul to say Japanimation. I don't think that's a foul type aspect, but definitely anime type vibes within the pitch as far as saying just the aspect of this consistent kind of just when you think of things like Final Fantasy, some of those type aspects, just kind of typical type. Definitely feels ripped out of like a Blood on the Dance Floor album out of like the early 2010s. Some of those type pitch, just the same sort of format folks like that. Some of those particular folks. I do realize there's probably more of those type folks. Trying to think of some. I reviewed quite a few series of these type folks, like talking about like. Definitely folks like Garrett Ecstasy and Jay Von Monroe, some of those type pitches, Davi Vanity, especially some of those stuff. So it's just the aspects as far as saying some good type tones. Yeah, I look after here just to go down the list of a lot of these, just clean sweep of an album, like I said. Electric's a real immediate one to go for here. This is like a basic kind of Lady Gaga and Adam Lambert like dance popper to kind of get within these aspects. This could have been a single. I'd say this is some real good shell shocks. This is the pitch. This one has some immediate type fashion. Folks are mostly paying attention because this is the second most popular song off the album according to Spotify. As far as this first album, has over 70,000 plays within the pitch. Most popular song according to Spotify would be Lovers When It's Cold, the second single off the sound good type pitch, the glissy kind of blood on the dance floor type song within the pitch behind it. But Burn/Fear doesn't have as many as I would have thought. I definitely feel like the quality of this song, Burn/Fear and Electric, are great 1-2 punch, and I'd probably throw Metropolis in there as well as like a good 1-2-3 type punches. Some of those step out type ones that are just basic kind of on the runway, or just like the particular fashionist kind of step out within a sense of just getting some dance thrills going. Burn/Fear, the Burning Velesta remix is a nice one. It's like a more rhythmic kind of island like vacay rave to kind of get to within the pitch. So basically like rave type music, but just more with like hot weather in mind. Just pitches like that would be a little bit more tropical. Some of those type pitches. This is like a good go about on like a hot night as far as what's first happens. So just the pitch. It is interesting to get like some summer rave type music within the format, whether or not the rave would be outdoors or some of those type pitches within the aspect behind them. It's a good type tone to get some of this. Just more would be more foggy, sweaty pitches like that within some of those tones, but definitely the aspect is getting crunk towards it. Metropolis is a quality one, like I was saying. It's like a snazzy combo with Electric, I'd have to say here, and also Burn/Fear, some of those type pitches. Like a good feeling, froggy kind of industrial glam, I'd say about this one here. It's one of the few industrial songs on here, a little bit of pitches when you think of probably Marilyn Manson, Mr. Strange, some of those type folks, Power Man 5000, pitches like that within those particular type formats is like a good. This one's definitely amidst like the late scene as far as the press camps. A little bit of city step out on there, just kind of the pitch of just like feeling peppy within the aspect of just getting towards like the motion. A little bit, it's kind of a conduit type song within pitch, halfway kind of dance floor rave pitches like that, but also miss the product of just like city traffic, some of those type runs. If you're just picking up like a pack of donuts, something like that, just kind of an in between type fashion within the tones. My Obsession's a nice one on here. It's like a good this is like a nice rewrite of Cinema Bazaar's hit from 2009. Good pitches like that. It's a little bit more foggy and haunting this time, and it's just like some dance floor haze to kind of get here. So the previous one was really like a The previous My Obsession was really like a brooding kind of more makeshift and SFW type pitch. Just really nailed the particular vibes, like an emo kind of ballad within some of those type aspects. Definitely had a lot more haunting. I mean, this particular song is haunting. This one doesn't have the piano kind of malaise that particular song did from Cinema Bazaar, but it's the same sort of pitch that this has a little bit more of this aspect, just some socialized with some step out and like more recreation type fare. So it just takes, as a good idea to take songs that were originally kind of more SFW pitches like that and put like a recreational type spin on them. Maybe that happens on the occasion, but it's a good example of that doing that. The Matrix is a quality one. It's like a hypnotic kind of gentleman bar and places like that, strip clubs, some of those type fairs pitches, some of those type places within it, and it's like a moist kind of casino night on top of that. I'd have to say, just some scene. Yeah, it's like a good gentleman bar and moist kind of casino night scene step out to kind of get within these aspects here, just enjoying like the smoke of it as far as this first comes. So just on the pitch, it's really the exoticness of just more places than just like standard kind of hole in the wall. This is some of these type places have a little bit more rich kind of venue type bop within the pitch, where there might be 4 digits, maybe even 5 digits worth of people within the aspect of some of these type places. Obviously places like Vegas and Reno and some of those type places, Detroit on the right day, and places like Chicago probably within certain aspects, Miami. Definitely some of those places where it'd be more neon and just more seedy within that aspect. I definitely like the tone. Probably international wise too. I mean, considering that Jack Strify is not from the United States, it's the pitch of some of the places where it would be more in an international type sense on top of that, so it's a good type pitch. But Glory is a quality one. This reminds like Depeche Mode, I would definitely say here. Just a pounding and nerve-wracking kind of weights kind of get here. So this is the product, whether you're just waiting outside to get in, you're just hearing the basking of the noise within some of these type places. Just the product of this. The bell had taken a long time to get ready. Some of those type pitches in the format, just the aspect. Kind of some impatient type music to kind of get within those tones, but it keeps it thrilling. It's like a thrilling kind of night, I'd say, within the tone behind it. Just the aspects of like the enjoy like some Friday, Saturday type material, pitches like that, and it's a pretty flashy type song. Can get the aspects here. So good type tone. In Your Waiting Room's a quality one within those aspects, as well as like an 80s kind of new wave like Gliss kind of get here. This is like a good buzz single. I definitely would have said this is a pretty nice one to have for like some starry kind of initial kind of commercial pop, some initial kind of commercial pep pitches like that. I'd say this, yeah, good buzz single choice. This like some mingle to kind of get here pitches like that, and some break free from like SFWs. So in the pitch is not really terribly much like an SFW type album. For the most part, this is pretty amidst like past the hours of like 7 o'clock p.m. some type pitches, which is not a complaint with an aspect. But in terms of like some of those type moments, if you are looking for something that has a little bit of like the relative having to do with makeshift, this is an initial type one where it's just the product of it probably being like 7:45, 8:15 as you just get to some of these venues pitches like that where you're still trying to shed like the work mode, some of those type pitches. It just like a good embrace of just getting towards the concept of like the initial dap and the conduct of it. So as far as some of those type pitches kind of go, it feels like a tune in a more recent type sense ripped out of like 1985, 1987, some of those stuff. Some of those type pitches within it feels like Police should show up on those songs, some of those type ones, but this one is fair. Hearts Are Digital is a quality one. This feels like a movie kind of transit scene. Some of those type pitches with like a kind of like an international transit type movie, something that would be like a transit for like a movie like Blood Diamond, one of those type ones. Some of those type ones and pitches. Some sort of like 2010s Leonardo DiCaprio movie pitches like that. I'd say within those aspects behind it, but just some of those type ones. There's like a looming kind of dance floor excitement to kind of get here. So just the power, just a real strengthy type one with an aspect. Definitely like the bravado about this one. When you think of like the term power ballad and some of those type terms, it's more like a power dance floor type moment, just to really have some heavy kind of step out within some of those type pitches. I'm trying to think of some other songs I haven't talked about on here. I don't think I've talked about Just an Illusion. Just an Illusion is like a thrilling kind of vintage glam rock vibes to kind of get. Just an Illusion is like a thrilling kind of vintage glam rock vibes to kind of get within the aspects here. Just fashionist kind of step out. I'd say just some dramatic hazes about it. Yes, it is a dramatic type aspect between this. Something that feels just ripped. Same sort of vibe when you think of songs by Cinema Bizarre, like probably love songs. Love songs, They Kill Me and Escape to the Stars, some of those type pitches within the format. Forever or Never, The Way We Are, some of those type pitches within the fair behind us. Same typical type aspect, just in a more dance floor type aspect. Just in a more dance floor type vibes, some socialized type step out within the pitch. It's really the aspect where you'd hear glam rock, some of those type pitches. So it just has the format of just like an album cut off of like the 2007 Cinema Bizarre album pitches like that. Final Attraction, some of those type pitches, but Angel is like a sparkly kind of ambience and like a socialized, I'd say within aspects here, just vintage kind of Strify, I'd say good aspect for that, and it's like a necessary update of like cinema kind of glam rock within some of those type pitches. So just the fair as far as saying, definitely feels like the singles off of Final Attraction, some of those type pitches within the format, just typical type 2007 vibes, definitely some good type aspects there. Same sort of glam rock flair within a pitch, just a good mid-pace type one within some type pitches. Face to Face is a quality one. It's like a moody kind of Hot Topic like dramatic flair to kind of get here. This reminds of like a newer kind of Jeffree Star, I'd say within some type aspects behind it. Just kind of a fraternized gem pitches like that, I'd say. So just the product of just taking like some of that kind of more new wave, not so much full bound EDM, but within that relative kind of electro pop type shift within the product of it. Just good cousins of that. It's not really, electro pop is not too commonly that full bound different from EDM, and especially like Jeffree Star's kind of dark wave pitches like that. This feels like a song that Jeffree Star probably could have shown up on within some of that performance. This feels like something in that same flavor. Just particularly has Jack Strify on it and said, but some good excellent aspects that just like a reminder of like 2009 and 2008 and the early 2010s kind of MySpace and more the early 2010s kind of MySpace and Hottopic type vibes within the pitch. So good type tone. I think one of the last ones I haven't talked about on here is Not My God vs. Losers. It's like a pounding kind of feel right. Not My God vs. Losers is like a pounding kind of feeling right, kind of late shift to kind of get within these aspects here. Just a tipsy night. Good tipsy song to kind of get within these aspects. One of the few songs that feels as full bound. I mean, I definitely think that you're going to get some drinkage in your system, some of that fares within, but this is one that feels more designated to it. This is where the night kind of is getting viciously fun within some of these type aspects. So this is definitely a head trip type one for the format. A lot of these do have some pretty good paces, like Metropolis, Electric, Burn Slash Fear, some of these type pitches. Burn Slash Fear, the Burning Ballesta remix, definitely has some dance floor type tones. Definitely this project is most assuredly amongst like the dance vibes of just step out and bust and move some of those type pitches, but it's also within the format as far as there are some moments to note that have a little bit more socialized within the tone, or just a little bit more where it's not as focused on just like the thrills of like in the momentness of it. So it's just kind of pitch as far as saying, like I would say like Just an Illusion, Hearts Are Digital, Angel, some of these type of ones. I'd say like In Your Waiting Room, or just some pitches that kind of have the more ambience about it, just where it is going to be more white noise within pitch. It's not like that's the problem. It's just the aspect of consistent kind of banner, not with an aspect of like some step out. But this, I would definitely say Not My God vs. Losers, like the one that has like the most kind of where you might just be feeling a little bit slurred out some of the type pitch. So excellent type appeal. Yeah, I think I talked about all 14 songs in here within these aspects. So Yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. The Social Score, I'll go ahead and give it 10 out of 10 as well. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't get a 10 out of 10 is just within the pitch as far as saying, as to whether or not this would be able to be found. It's just kind of within the pitch for folks that don't know Jack Strifey. For one thing, if you don't know Cinema Bazaar, and it's less likely than you would know who Jack Strifey is, but it's definitely within the pitch. Easy kind of recommendation. This is an easy enough recommendation. If you like Lady Gaga, if you like Adam Lambert, if you like Jeffree Star, if you like Blood on the Dance Floor, it's just within the pitch as far as saying that this has a consistent product of further electro pop and some of those alternative type bop type vibes, definitely within a pitch. You didn't like that tear up, and this is pretty thrilling within the aspect. Definitely has Japan and anime type vibes about it, Final Fantasy type vibes, Stones type pitches. It's very much an offshoot of Blood on the Dance Floor, some of those type folks pitches like that. It's not like it's full blown copying. I feel like I think Cinema Bazaar and Jack Strifey definitely became larger than a lot of folks. Jeffree Star and maybe not Adam Lambert, but Jeffree Star and at least Blood on the Dance Floor, some of those type pitches was just within the performance for saying it's all within the community of it. Just fuck with all these folks easy enough. All those ones I recommend just within the pitch. So definitely within the pitch getting more of these. So it's just a good tone. So 10 social, just an aspect, just throwing kind of nights of just exotic kind of gentlemen's bars, pitches like that. Some good rave and trance type places. Some of those type fairs. Some step out and like a fashionist and kind of drag and like glam type places. Some socialized type within aspects. So good type tones, just good pitches. But in terms of the future, the unfortunate thing is this is, for the most part, minus the 2015 EP, this is Jack Strifey's most recent project. So he hasn't dropped anything in 10 years. That's pretty unfortunate with the pitch. I just would say, hopefully he drops another EP. Maybe something can comprise like those 2021 songs. He dropped maybe 2 or 3 of those. That'd be nice to get an EP, something like that. But it's just within the tone as far as saying this is the one of the most recent. There may also be one more Cinema Bazaar album I have to get to, and then there's the 2015 EP that I haven't gotten to by Jack Strifey. But apart from that, that's about it. But definitely have to say to check out like the Jack Strifey and Cinema Bazaar playlist because that has all the stuff in there. Definitely some excellence with the pitch, and this is like a pretty easy kind of bound, just alternative classic.